Hello everyone, welcome to Edukemy's YouTube page. I am Dimple Nankani, Faculty of Geography and Ethics in Edukemy. In this series, we are discussing the important questions that have come in your ethics paper 2022. Do watch the other questions for more value additions. I'll start off my discussion with question number 2B. Question number 2B is a typical question in the ethics paper. ये question paper में बहुत ही typical question है, बहुत ही अलग तरीके से framed है, but this is what you study. This is the very first thing that you study in the ethics. So here the question is, it is believed that the adherence to ethics in human action would ensure in the smooth functioning of an organization. You know that there is an adherence to ethics in the human action that would ensure the smooth functioning to an organization. If so, what does the ethics seeks to promote in the human life? And how do ethical values assist in the resolution of the conflict faced by a person in his day-to-day functioning? So the question is about the importance of ethics in human life. How does ethics help in solving some of the conflicts that a person sees in day-to-day life? What is the importance of ethics for any organization? So पहली चीज, whenever you start studying ethics, you study about these things: the importance of ethics in human life, in human organization, and in solving the ethical dilemmas. So moving on to the question, here, if you could have interpreted the question, then the question would have been very easy. Starting off, you can start off a quote: the importance of ethics, that ethics is, without ethics, a man is nothing but a wild beast that has been left loose upon this world. So if a person doesn't have ethics, he is nothing less than a wild beast that have been left loose on the world. So this is the importance of ethics. So that we become human, we start appreciating the human values. That is the importance of ethics. After starting off with the quote, you can write that yes, ethics is very important in all the human interfaces. Ethics is important for being in an organization, for family, for peer group, or for socialization. So ethics is important in all the sphere of the human. So what does ethics do by a quote, and where it is important? So we know that the ethics is quite important. Now coming on to the question that the adherence of the ethics in human action is important for the smooth functioning of an organization. अगर आप चाहते हैं कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्मूथली फंक्शन करे, तो यू शुड हैव एथिकल वैल्यूज. हाउ डू यू थिंक ऑन दिस क्वेश्चन? अच्छा, एथिकल वैल्यूज का क्या मतलब, स्मूथ फंक्शनिंग ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का क्या मतलब, एंड हाउ आर दे लिंक्ड? सो व्हेन यू से एडहेरेंस टू एथिक्स, वी मीन दैट देयर शुड बी एडहेरेंस टू सर्टेन वैल्यूज like adherence to selflessness, altruism, integrity, honesty, empathy, compassion, dedication to duty. So while you want to have the adherence to ethics, it means nothing but the adherence to the ethical values. And this adherence to the values is very important for smooth functioning of an organization. What do we mean by smooth functioning of an organization? Organization is running smoothly if it has following parameters. There is a bonhomie between the colleagues. बार बार झगड़े नहीं हो रहे हैं, हर 2 घंटे में झगड़ा नहीं हो रहा है. There is a bonhomie between the colleagues. There is friendliness between the colleagues. There is achievement of the goals. What an organization aims to achieve, वो achieve हो रहा है. आपकी organization is not only efficient but also credible. People have a trust in your organization. This is what we mean by smooth functioning of the organization. And there is employee satisfaction. Now the question is, this adherence to the ethics helps in a smooth functioning of the organization. How is that seen? You can see that if a person has empathy and compassion, if the organization has empathy and compassion, there will obviously be your employee satisfaction. If there is honesty and integrity that is being followed by the organization, there will be credibility of the organization. If there is a dedication to duty, there will definitely be the achievement of the goals. And when there is selflessness and altruism, then there will be the bonhomie between the colleagues. You think of us before me. You think of team before you. That means you are selfless. You have altruistic mindset. And then this enables your colleagues to trust you. So how do these adherence to ethic values helps in the smooth functioning of the organization? सिर्फ ये relationship नहीं बताना है, but also you have to substantiate using some examples of good organization. कि अगर आप देखेंगे empathy और compassion था, तो employees के अंदर बोनहोमी थी, एम्प्लॉयज ट्रस्ट क्रेडिबिलिटी थी। तो आप सिर्फ ये नहीं बताएंगे बट आप एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ सब्सटैंशिएट करेंगे। व्हाट गुड एग्जाम्पल्स कैन बी देयर? So if you have to write some example for selfless and altruism, you can write an example of NGO Pratham. They believe in selflessness. They believe in smooth function, altruism, and this has enabled the smooth functioning. And you can see there is Acer, there is credibility, there is trustworthiness. Right? You can use an example of Pratham NGO. That is the smooth functioning of the organization is because there is a credibility there, there is a trust there. You look at empathy and compassion, nothing greater than Tata's. Look at, there have been, the world has recently seen a COVID pandemic, and there have been so many retrenchment during this COVID pandemic. But Tata Steel not only kept their employees happy by giving salary during the COVID-19 pandemic, but they went a step ahead. किसी की अगर डेथ हो गई COVID-19 के टाइम पे, तो उनकी फैमिली को टिल दैट एम्प्लॉय टर्न्स 60 उनको सैलरी दी जाएगी. So this is what your empathy and compassion is. Tata Steel continued to pay salary to the families of the employees who died out of COVID-19 till the time the person would have turned 60. So if you want to have a smooth functioning of the organization, if you want an organization to be seen credible, to be seen, they want other employees the satisfaction, you have to build via ethics, and the ethics can be senior. दूसरे employees will also be satisfied. When they are satisfied, they will trust, they will work more. That will be smooth functioning of the organization. Dedication to duty gives ethical work culture. Okay, so ethical work culture आता है, smooth functioning होती है. एक example है Delhi Metro का. Delhi Metro has been successful because of its work culture. This has been said by nobody else than the Metro man. So, importance of ethics for smooth functioning of the organization. Why is this in news? Also because अगर आपको कुछ vices avoid करने हैं, like your employee should not go for moonlighting, right? Your employee should not go for quiet quitting. कि 9 बजे आना है, 6 बजे जाना है, जितना ऑफिस में बोला है उतना ही. That is quiet quitting. Moonlighting यानी where you work somewhere else, and this has been considered as cheating by Wipro's Rishad Premji. He says that moonlighting is nothing but cheating. So अगर आप चाहते हैं your employee should not go for this, there has to be some ethical basis, there has to be some motivation, there has to be some dedication, there has to be some empathy. तो आपकी ये सारी ethical values ये help करती हैं smooth functioning, because the employees feel a part, you are trusted by the customers. These helps in the functioning of the organization. You can use example of Pratham, Tata Steel, Metro Man, and you can also use example of the Rishad Prem. Now, second question is as interesting as the first. What does ethics seeks to promote in human life? Why should I be ethical? क्यों ethical बनूं? This is the question that generally we keep on asking while we are reading this subject. Why should an individual be ethical? Taking into consideration the present day development, right? So why should a person be ethical? One is the highest aim of an individual, that is called as the summum bonum. हम इंसान हैं. What do we aim to become? We aim to become a good individual. We are called as human being just because we have human values, not because of this human body, but because of the human values. So हम अगर if we have to achieve the highest self of an individual, we have to be a good individual. So that good individual can only be done while we are ethical. So क्यों ethical बनूं? Because a highest aim of individual is to be a good individual. So what does ethics seek to promote in human life? It aims to promote summum bonum, the highest goal of a human being, to be a good individual. If you are ethical, obviously you will have better social capital. You all need to be surrounded by good people, ethical people, right? So if you want to imbibe good values, you need to, if you want to have connection with the good people, you need to have ethical values. A very good example has been that of a healthy competition. Recently that has been seen, there was a retirement by a famous tennis player, and the greatest rivalry was the friendliest of it. तो कितना अगर आपके जीवन में ethics है, तो आप competition को healthy competition बनाते हैं. That has been, this have been going in the circles. ये circles में आपके sports circles में चला है बहुत ज़्यादा, that how Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal built the friendliest of rivalry. तो क्या चाहता है ethics? आप अगर अच्छे इंडिविजुअल हो, आपका सोशल कैपिटल भी अच्छा होगा, you will have healthy competition, you will have peace of mind, you will not have cognitive dissonance. So that's what your ethics helps to do. It also enables, ethics also enables to stay away from vices, greed, dishonesty, okay, immoral actions से भी बचाते हैं ethics. That is what an ethics seeks to do. And ethics also helps have a moral compass in the difficult times. So when there are difficult times, it is the value that guides an individual. So here, what does ethics seeks to do in your human life? Build social capital, have the enable us to live with the highest achievement of a human being, stay away from the vices, and enables us to act during the difficult circumstances. So it's a compassion which guides us during the difficult circumstances. Moving on, second part, the third part of the question: can ethics helps in resolving the conflict that we see in day-to-day life? So every day, what is the utility of ethics in everyday resolution of the conflicts? तो अगर आप ये देखें तो कैसे ethics help करता है आपको conflicts में help करता है. If you are having a business, then whether your orientation should be a profit motive or it should be a social obligation. If you are a doctor, or what should you provide? What should you prescribe an individual? Should you prescribe an individual with the generic drug or the patented drug? So what is the intention? Resolution of the conflict between the profit motive and social obligation. यहाँ ethics help करता है. Ethics आपको personal life और प्राइवेट लाइफ में कैसे बिहेव करना चाहिए या उसके कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स को कैसे डील करते हैं उसमें हेल्प करता है. Ethics also helps you to uphold the professional ethics if there is a dilemma between professional ethics and personal value. So if there is a terrorist coming to a doctor, if there is somebody that a lawyer doesn't want to defend, that somebody who has done an unsocial activity that the lawyer doesn't want to defend because that is against the personal values, तो यहाँ ethics help करता है. So ethics helps us in dealing the conflicts between the private life and the professional ethics. This is anybody who's working can face this. And how does ethics help? It enables a civil servant to differentiate the behavior during the private life and the public life. How should the behavior be in the public life and the private life? It enables in resolution of the conflicts that what should my anchor be? Should my anchor be service obligations, societal obligations, service orientation, or my motto or my anchor should be profit motive? That's what the ethics actually helps in resolution of the conflict. Because if you have moral values, you would know what is the right thing to do. Okay, this is what your question number 2 was about. How do you conclude? आपने देख लिया कि ethics important है, ethics ह्यूमन लाइफ में इम्पॉर्टेंट है, एथिक्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट है, एथिक्स ऑल्सो हेल्प इन रेजोल्यूशन ऑफ द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. हाउ डू यू कंक्लूड? यू कंक्लूड बाय मेंशनिंग कि हम कैसे एथिकल वैल्यूज को अपने जीवन में उतारेंगे और व्हाट शुड वी डू सो दैट द एथिक्स आर कमिंग इन माय ह्यूमन लाइफ. There are various ways wherein we can learn about human values, we can learn about the ethical values, like role playing. There is a reward and punishment. So if we are rewarded for good behavior, we will follow that behavior. If you are punished for the bad behavior, we will not follow that behavior. So the various ways in which we can inculcate ethics is by role playing, by acting like a leader, by being a change agent, by following the ethical values as a role player, by reward and punishment mechanism. Certain organizational tools also help in an inculcation of the ethical values, like code of conduct हो गया, code of ethics हो गया. ये सब आपके employees में normal life में आपको ethics में help करते हैं. And obviously socialization, like the teachings of father, teacher, parents, grandparents, they also helps us in inculcation of the ethical values. How do you learn ethics? You learn by agencies, you role play, there are reward and punishment mechanism, there are certain rules in the organization for you to learn the ethics. So this was question number 2 from our side. I hope you like this video. For more such video, stay tuned, like, share and subscribe to our channel. Bye-bye.